welcome finally to Love Our Melanin, where we celebrate all things that are black and feminine, whatever that means to you. My name is Jazawusu, and I am the host, as you can see. Whether you're watching or whether you're listening, I hope that you get some knowledge, and I hope that I can help you learn in any kind of way. I started this podcast 2 years ago. This March 1st will actually make 2 years. And I started with a completely different idea, completely different concepts, and I'm glad that I was able to rebirth and regrow Love Her Melanin, because I feel like that's what's closest to me. Before we begin, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the love, share the wisdom, share all the values, and we're gonna get started. All right, so I know that I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but we are going to be dissecting Dr. Dharius Daniels' Relational Intelligence. I will talk anybody and everybody's ear off this book, okay? I love this book so much. It is literally my holy grail, kind of. Dr. Dharius Daniels, I'm gonna read a little bit of his blurb. If you're listening on the podcast, you can't see, but I'm gonna try to put his picture somewhere. He's the founder and lead pastor of Change Church, which is a vibrant and diverse congregation. He has a doctorate degree of ministry from Fuller Theological Seminary. And him, his wife, and their 2 kids also live in Jersey, and he's also an adjunct professor at Princeton University. So those are some fun facts about Dr. Dharius Daniels. This book will literally help you in leadership positions, will help you in your regular everyday relationships, because it breaks down what relational intelligence is and how you can function in relationships in your life. All right, so before we begin, I'm going to define exactly what relational intelligence is so that you can kind of understand what's going on. So I have my handy dandy notebook here because I took notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So relational intelligence, according to the book, is, quote, the ability to discern if someone should be a part of our lives and what place they should occupy, and then aligning them accordingly. That is according to the book, right? So Dr. Daniels makes it a point to make sure everyone understands that there's no such thing as a casual relationship. So everyone who comes into our life, whether it's for a brief moment or whether it's for life, whether it's for a couple years, whether it's till death do you part, it serves a purpose. Everything is intentional. God is intentional. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about, this book is actually broken down into 4 parts. So I'm going to do a 4-part series on this book. And today we're going to be talking about the first part, which is defining exactly what the relationships are. So there's 4 categories. It's friends, associates, assignments, and advisors. Those are the 4 categories of relationships. So I'm going to first start off with what a friendship is. Friendships comprise of 2 things. It's the double R. It's responsibility and reciprocity. Okay, remember that, because I'm saying that a lot throughout this video. Friendships require the 2 things: responsibility. You have a responsibility, a loyalty, a duty to your friend. Okay, best friend, sister friend, cousin friend, bestie for life, or whatever you call it, that's a friend, right? Those little intricate things about how you separate your friends, that's a whole nother video that I could get into. A whole nother video I could get into, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. And the reciprocity, the reciprocation of it. It might not be directly, it might not be directly transactional, but it is reciprocal. You need to make sure of that. So there's a certain level of depth that is required in a friendship, meaning, like I said, very deep. It's an emotional bond that's grown over time, and it's something that's cultivated over time. It doesn't need to take years and years to make a friendship, but it is something that takes time to grow an emotional bond with someone, to actually consider them your friend. You know what I'm saying? The book does say association breeds assimilation. Birds of a feather flock together. We know. You know what I'm saying? Like I already said, there's no such thing as a casual relationship, no matter how short, how long. Everything serves a purpose. You know what I'm saying? The book writes a quote that, Dr. Daniels, wrote a quote that really hit with me. We never just go as far as our dreams. We go as far as our team. That is why it's so important to have a good team of friends around you, because you can only go as far as your team helps you. You know what I'm saying? Your dreams will lead you far, but if you don't have people supporting you and backing you, that's my belief, you won't get too far, because I'm not even gonna get into that. Living life alone is not the life you want to live, okay? I'm telling you that right now. So before I even continue, this man is a pastor, okay? So there's gonna be a lot of biblical references in the book, which is great for me. But if you are not religious, please do not let that steer you away from reading this book. It has a lot of practical advice for everyone that can be used for everyone. because I actually heard about this book in a leadership seminar, and I was talking my friend's ear off about one of the books, and she actually bought it for me as a present. Shout out to my friend. Please read it. It helps so much, but I'm gonna continue. God fulfills our needs through other people indirectly, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a little story. I don't know if y'all remember the movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and his son, right? So in the scene where Will Smith and his son are walking, his son is telling, Will a story. And he's talking about how there's a fisherman who drowns, and one boat comes by, and he tells the fisherman, don't worry, God will save me. Another fisherman comes, and he's like, don't worry, God will save me. The man drowns and dies. When he gets to heaven, he tells God, why didn't you save me? And God's like, I sent 2 boats, you idiot. Why didn't you get on one of them? So that's what we mean when we say God's not going to come down and be your friend. God is your friend. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to come down and sit next to you and talk to you. But he is going to send other people to help fulfill your calling, your purpose, and help fulfill your needs through that. So that's also why it's so important to be super intentional with who you call your friend, because those are people who God's going to put in your life to help you further along your purpose. So I just wanted you to remember that. So when it comes to relationships or just friendships, you have to make sure you're an asset, not a liability. You want to add to their life, not become a liability to it. Liabilities are not cool. They charge you extra in car insurance for that. But like I said, friends and associates can get confused. So I'm going to actually get into associates in a little bit and what makes someone your associate. But just to be clear, just to reiterate what a friendship is, okay? Very important. They give you what you need, not what you want. Okay? You might want to hear, oh,
I want to date that rich baller. Oh, I'm super smart. Oh, you so pretty. Oh, your butt big. You got the biggest butt. You the baddest chick in the club.
What you need to hear, yeah, you want to mess with that baller, you know what's going to come with that? Yeah, you got the biggest butt, but what else you got? Yeah, you the smartest, but you ain't changed your wig in like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? They tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So that's what a good friend is. And that's why you need to cultivate that deep and emotional bond with them, so that you take more heed to what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You're more likely to care about what they think. You're more likely to take account what they feel and what they think. And you're more likely to, take their advice. But they're not your advisors, which we're going to get into in a little bit. Next up, we're going to talk about associates. These 2 relationships get so confused so quickly, and I've gotten into problems with this where I will openly say, this person's not my friend. We cool, but this person's not my friend. And people will automatically think I'm being shady. They're not my friend. They don't even know my full first name, bro. Like, how you my friend? You don't know my first and last name. How that work? We're cool, we speak, we have very intelligent conversations, but you're not my friend. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call you in a moment of crisis. You know what I'm saying? If I was stuck on the road and I needed money to get a tow truck, I'm not gonna call you. That's why people get associates and friendships mixed up. The biggest thing for me was like, when I was in high school, I saw 3 people that I graduated with. And I used to think, oh, this person was my friend, this person was my friend, this person was my friend. The only reason why we were friends was because we went to school 5 days a week. I saw them more than I saw my own family. That's the only reason. After high school, we had nothing to talk about because it was very surface level relationships. You know what I mean? So that's why when you have an associate, and I just want to add a disclaimer in there, because the author really talks about being authentic but not transparent. Again, he's a pastor, so he's talking from a biblical standpoint. But I still think this can apply to anybody. Like, be authentic with everyone you're around. Be 100% authentic, because you'd rather someone dislike you for not being yourself, someone dislike you for being yourself, than fall in love with somebody you're not. You know what I'm saying? I try to, I don't show everybody my full personality, because, I'm very extroverted and not everybody's comfortable with that. But I make sure I'm myself when I enter a room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm myself when I enter a room. I'm not super transparent with everybody though, because everybody doesn't need to know your deep traumas. Everybody doesn't need to know your stripes, your struggles. That's what makes someone an associate. Ooh, y'all both like Marvel movies. Y'all both like going to this hookah lounge. Y'all go to the hookah lounge every single weekend. But that person's not your friend. Just because y'all go clubbing every single weekend doesn't mean that person's your friend. You understand what I mean? Just because y'all go to the movies once a month does not make that person your friend. They know that y'all like the same movies. They know that you like blueberry or watermelon flavored hookah. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But another reason why people have a hard time keeping associates at a surface level is because the author talks about the disease to please, overextending your please. we as humans have this nature of people pleasing. Just naturally, some people is worse than others, me, but we have this nature of wanting to people please. So we tend to overextend associates in our lives and overextend the responsibility and reciprocity in our lives. So then when they behave like an associate, we get offended. They're your associate, they're not your friend. They're behaving how they're supposed to behave. That's their spot that they fulfill in your life, and that's where they should stay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? An associate can always grow into a friend. Always. Sometimes they just stay an associate. Sometimes they dissipate into thin air. That's okay. That's life. People move and change. And I also want to add, when he's talking about these are 4 basic compartments. We're not saying that they can't overlap. We're not saying people can't move. Somebody can go from your friend to being your associate. Someone can be your associate to your assignment. Someone can go from being your advisor to your friend to your advisor. Like, they can change, things can overlap. But these are just the basic definitions. I'm going to get into discerning your relationships later on. But for now, that's what your associate is. And you need to make sure that a lot of people that you call your friends are not your friends, they're your associates. And that's perfectly fine. But just understand that, because it better helps you not have so many expectations for that person. Because at the end of the day, if I'm going through something and my friend who really knows me, I'm more likely to take their advice and heed to their advice than my associate. Because at the end of the day, I don't care too much about the person. Like, that person doesn't have a responsibility to me. You know what I mean? So that's what an associate is. Next up, we have an assignment. Your assignment is your responsibility. This is, as an orientation leader, this is freshmen that you're mentoring. This is, as a professor, these are your students that you're teaching. As a supervisor, these are your employees. As a mentor, this is someone who's your mentee. This person, your sole reason for being with this person is to help fulfill a purpose in their life, help guide them to fulfilling their purpose. That is what you're there for. The reason why a lot of people are afraid to have assignments is because they feel like they're being used. Someone like me, I'm afraid to reach out to people because people on social media will often complain.
Like, oh, this person only hits me up when they need something. They don't talk to me in any other capacity.
And I'm just kind of like, yeah, because we're not friends. I really just need this from you. I'm not saying be an opportunist or deal with opportunists. That's not what I'm saying either. And I'm also not saying every person that's in need does not make them your responsibility. That's where discerning comes in. But we're gonna get to that in another video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe so you can watch that video. What I'm talking about is someone who is, God said, okay, this person needs help dealing with career. They wanna be a teacher, they don't know how to start. You're in the teacher education program. You're gonna tell them what score they need on the SAT, how to study for the SAT. If they didn't do on the SAT, how they can still get in. Maybe you can give them a letter of rec. That person is your responsibility. After you fulfilled your purpose in their life and they've gotten their goals, could they become an associate and later on a friend? Of course. Could they also just take what they need from you and leave? Of course. I have my friend and mentor, she said that she used to feel some type of way when people would come into her life and just ask her for things and leave. Until she realized that maybe that's just the place that I feel in their life. And that's okay. That's the place you feel in their life. That's what you do. But all in all, that's what makes someone your assignment. They're your responsibility, and they're just there to fulfill a certain purpose in your life. Okay? So that's what you should, sorry about that, y'all, the camera cut. But we're finally going to be talking about an advisor. An advisor is essentially an assignment done in reverse. So the advisor is the person who guides you through your purpose. That's who you were given to help you in your career, help you in your schooling, and your job search, all of that. The author, Dr. Daniels, makes it a good point to compare what a good advisor is supposed to be. So a good advisor is not a lid. A lid is something like it seals something in, it tightens in, you only have, what's in your perimeter. So take an academic advisor, for instance, is someone who you decide you're in the teacher education program, and this person's like, okay, so these are the classes that are in the teacher education program. These are the only classes that you have. That's not a good advisor because they're limiting you. A good advisor is an umbrella. What does an umbrella do? It shields you and it protects you, but you still have to make that journey on your own. You hold the umbrella to protect you from the rain, but you still gotta walk outside. That's what a good advisor does. So using the academic advisor example again, it's like, okay, you said you want to do teacher education. Why do you want to be a teacher? You said you like helping students. You don't have to be a teacher to help students. You could be a guidance counselor. You could be a mentor. You could work at this place and this place. And then they give you all these options. They help you narrow it down. So you realize, okay, maybe I do want to still be a teacher. Maybe I don't. That's what a good advisor does. Dr. Daniels also makes it a good point to mention in the book that that a good advisor is not supposed to steer you from pain or stop you from being in pain, but they're supposed to help you through the process. Kind of like Jesus, right? He helps you through your pain. He doesn't promise you that you're not going to go through it, but all he does is he helps you through it. So that's what a good advisor is supposed to do. But those are the 4 types of relationships. So just to break it back down again, your friend, responsibility, and reciprocity. Responsibility and reciprocity, keep that. Your associate, very surface level, not too deep. They can become your friend, but they're not your friend yet. You need to make sure to check that. Your assignment, that's your responsibility. That's someone you're responsible for. That's someone you take under your wing and you guide. Your advisor, you are the responsibility of that person. That person is there to guide you, to help you, to nurture you, to help you grow, right? So that's what your advisor is doing. And like I said before, an advisor not advisor, just any relationship in general can overlap, and it can you can overlap, you can move, people can be replaced. And remember, these are just basic structures. They're not the end all be all of your relationship.